And here we go. Glenn started, finds a hard container in Link's house.
Now, is this similar to, well, it's not raining, so we're not forced to do the escape sequence like we would be in a standard mode run, correct?
Yes. Yeah, you could play over glitches with the standard, but that's not really fun. But the thing that we are seeing right now, Glenn does the normal open start, going to the secret password chest and Uncle, while Balian does a bit more interesting start that got quite popular over the Overworld Glitches tournament. That he starts out by going into Link's house and then checks the Sarshwal item. Also, Uncle, you got the sword.
Well, we got a flippers and a sword from Sashrala there. So it looks like a little more value in Sashrala's cave. Or shall we say his backroom locker there.
Yes, but Glenn will now, with the sword he just got, be able to just complete the entirety of the escape. But if he finds a key, he might even be able to go through the dark room and finish off the back of escape.
Now, with having the boots, he won't need to find a bomb because he can just dash into that particular door. Oh, there's his key. So I believe it's...
No, he's still at 0 keys. He needs to find a chest key to be able to get through the back of escape.
Oh, the big key. Ah, okay, that's where he's going to get blocked. Okay. And there's the key to get through that door. Baliame picked up, looks like 300 rupees.
Yeah, early rupees are always nice to see. If you don't find too many of them, you might have problems paying off the bottle vendor. You might have problems paying off Zora. And we just had a crystal at Eastern Palace, and I think another crystal at Desert.
Oh, I did not see that. The map. Unfortunately, I think I lagged just a little bit. But Glenn picked up the last item in the escape and just noped out to the sanctuary, while Baliame checked the lumberjack cave.
Okay, and the second item, and the Tower of Hera was the red pendant, and that is a red crystal. Thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn actually is on the Master Sword, so that would be 2 swords in the escape sequence, and it looks like he'll be on to a third as Baliame's activating a glitch.
Yes, he did. That's one essence that's I'm not quite familiar with. He's now able to directly go to the Tower of Hera, which is of course an interesting thing. Oh, pick up some bombs on the way, sure.
Now he's trying to... Oh, okay. I was going to say he was trying to dash, but it looked like that was only part of the setup there.
Nah, the thing with boots and unlocking most of the overworld is if you press, if you hold out the sword and then press A and either left or right at the same frame, you will be able to move 1 pixel at a time into wards.
Okay, and here we see Glam doing pretty much exactly what Baliame had just done, except he's not picking up the bombs and going straight into Tower of Hera.
I personally must say I'm more of a fan of what landed there. Not picking up the 3 bombs is it's not important, and I think neither player did check the hint tile here. We are on version 30 and we got hint tiles. check them.
Well, I think they might be saving the basement for on the way back out, but now with both runners basically ascending the Tower of Hera, well, we have Baliame entering into the Moldorm fight, but do you give Glan a little bit of an advantage here because of having the level 2 sword, or will Baliame be able to spin dash enough times?
Well,
just the level 1 sword.
Well, the thing is, spins will not do any more damage with the fighter's sword, so he will always have the speed up phase that he's right now seeing. And it sometimes is really hard to get thrown down into a position where you can hit him then.
Oh no, Baliame, I think, needed one more hit before Moldorm ends up knocking him down, and Glan gets knocked down as well, but finds himself taking the express elevator down 2 flights of stairs, unfortunately.
Another thing to note here, Baliame on one hand, he did not change the pegs in the room below, so he will not be able to refill on health that easily. And he's dead.
Oh no. Oh, he spun just a little too late, and he ended up getting hit by Moldorm. It looks like he might be getting out of the Tower of Hera entirely.
Well, it's a pendant, and we don't know if it's a pedestal seed yet.
Knowing that I'm on commentary, there's a good shot it's a pedestal seed. Or some other nonsense and shenanigans are afoot.
Well, as long as I didn't create the seed, the chance for it being a pedestal seed is quite low.
Glan found his red pendant, and it looks like he might be headed into the basement now to see what's... Oh, looks like he's picked up a little bit of a hint, a piece of heart in Skull Woods.
Yes, with that we know one of the 2 items in Skull Woods, so that's actually nice. But not taking the gamble and directly going into this cave. Oh, he didn't check, he didn't run far enough up to check and directly jumped back in.
Oh, there we go with Baliame delivering the old man, getting a 50 rupee tip. And it looks like we're going to see another glitch by Baliame if the rocks will cooperate long enough. Oh, Glan just learned where the hammer is.
But it's just a bomb requirement, means it will be behind one of the bomb rewards that you can dash against. So there are still quite a lot of locations the hammer can be in. Might even be just blind search, which no player checked by now. But yeah, I'm right now doing a third rock climb. You clip into the wall, do a shorter downward teleport, and then will be able to wiggle your way up the slope.
Oh, that was a convenient ferry. It looked like something red was on Spectacle Rock there. Could have been a rupee.
That was a red rupee on the floating island.
Oh, wow, that mini Moldorm is doing a little work on Baliame, taking 3 of his 4 hearts.
And then, right now, checking directly the floating island without going around. If you would need it, you would be able to get back to get it directly there without doing any special setup.
Now let's see what we have here for Baliame. Oh, a fire rod and 50 rupees.
That fire rod is nice.
Now, these Baliame seems to be having a little trouble with Moldorms in general. These mini Moldorms are doing some work. Oh, we have a medallion. I believe that was Bombos.
Bombos, 25 rupees, a heart piece, and a full heart.
That'll give Baliame a little more room for error, as Glan is going to find the items that Baliame just has. So Glan will pick up a heart along with the fire rod, which he already has, the Bombos medallion, and I believe a piece of heart with the last container there.
I believe the thing Baliame is on his way right now. He will go ahead and check the Zora area right now. I think starting with the Waterfall Fairy Cave. Or not. Just going to Zora. He got rubies for it, so fine.
Well, looks like he's going back down, so it looks like it is the Waterfall Cave.
Oh yeah, he has the flippers from Sarshwara. That's a fairy.
And 10 arrows, which slightly less exciting. But now that he has the rupees, I can only assume he'll check the ledge and Zora itself. And on the ledge, we have 20 more rupees.
Not really a thing we will come back for.
Well, now it's time to see what the Zora investment program has for us today. Your investment of 50 rupees buys you a piece of heart.
But for 50 rupees, you would only get a 140 piece of heart.
Looking for love in all the wrong places there, Link.
And at 30 minutes, we are finally going towards Kakariko. Can you believe it?
Yeah, usually you see that about 5 minutes in. But
yeah, I'm making use of this little bomb clock that will always have a bomb in it. So if you ever get the boots early in a no major glitch seat, when will that ever happen? You can get the bombs there. And if you are in the dark world at that spot, there are some fairies in that.
Now we're going to see 300 more rupees, 10 arrows, 3 bombs, and a piece of heart and a pear tree. Oh, there's the prize. There's the hammer.
Yeah, bomb block, the information Glenn got from Death Mountain don't have that much because it's so open.
Well, some of us may want to try to get into Turtle Rock the old-fashioned way, but I think that's probably not going to be an issue with this being overworld glitches allowed.
Wait, does Tetrox still have a medallion requirement? I thought they removed it in overworld glitches.
You would know better than I would. But we do have our power glove that Baliame's just found. And so, Glan is on his way to pick up the Power Glove as well.
And the Quake Medallion. Okay, so now really talk. The medallion requirement for Turtle Rock is a joke in Overwatch. That's skipped by everyone. You just will be able to spin speed clip into the middle, or even do a nice little screen wrap into the middle section of Turtle Rock. And if you do that, you don't need the entrance medallion.
Alright, we have ourselves a Quake medallion. And Baliame found the shovel along with checking the sick kid for another heart. Glan picking up the shovel. Although I don't believe he has a bottle yet, so we'll not be able to pick up the sick kid item.
He will be once you shake the bomb.
And no sooner do I say that than Glenn picks up a bottle just about exactly on command. It looks like Baliame is going to nope on out of here and glitch off to parts unknown, at least to me.
I don't really know why he is doing that. He could just, but if he wants to get the, if he would want to go to Eastern Palace, that would be a good way, but we got other ways to get the one item, and library, not checking library is a dumb idea, because that's literally spear 1 for us.
Well, we have 20 rupees in the library, and it looks like Desert Palace is Baliame's destination. Oh, not picking up the piece of art this time. Interesting.
Well, with about 9 hearts, you don't really care about hearts anymore.
Oh, that's true. I guess, you know, the more the merrier when it comes to hearts is, you know. Compass on the lantern, I doubt that'll be all that interesting. Glan's gonna pick up a hint. A unique item can be dug up.
So let's check the TikTok or the digging game for that one, because that might be our bug net, and we really need that bug capturing net.
Oh, we have ourselves a shield. Now, for what little it matters, Baliame picking up Fisher Price's My First Shield as well as Glan.
Of course, who's having now be able to go the entire way back to the left side. And Boos are still quite close to each other. The only difference between them is Glan finished the escape sequence, the front of escape, while Baliame checked Sashwara, and the slight difference is Glan got 2. That will be the only difference for the landlord fight, and for that we got the fire rod.
Yeah, and Glan's 2 swords were both found in the escape sequence, while Baliame, I believe, found his in Skull Woods.
No, the sword was in the back of escape.
The back of escape, okay.
And yeah, like said earlier, while we are in dungeons, we will not see anything different from the things we are seeing in any other randomizer, because, well, we are not allowed to do anything special in Zeus.
Ah, that's right. Datamancer coming through for me in the chat there. It was Sashrala that had the flippers and boots, and Glan has not been out that way, so he might be able to pick up a tempered sword if he ends up out by Eastern Palace.
Meanwhile, Valiama might not find boost words in the escape sequence based on what he picks up on the way. There was nothing other than the 2 swords in the escape sequence.
Well, Glan finishes off Glan Mollis. So looks like
Glan did an outward teleport, something that I didn't explain yet. If you clip into those words, based on the number of pixels you're in, you do either an upward or downward teleport. And at that point, he was able to do an upward teleport and get past some wards and check the checkerboard cave right now.
And Glan's doubling down and checking Agina's cave as well. We'll see how that works out. Oh, blue mail.
Blue mail, 9 hearts. I don't think they are really wanting more hearts at this point. They want progression at this point.
I believe they're on 8, but I definitely can see when it gets to that point, it's a little difficult to tell.
So on what you just saw on Glan's screen, there was a bit of some screens not really lining up. If you would have stepped over that line, that would have been really, really bad.
Oh. Oh, there's a moon pearl.
Yama deciding to pick up the top. Sure, it's fine.
So Baliame is now on 9 hearts, and we'll see if he can. Doesn't look to be wanting to dig up everything while also not saving and quitting like Glan did.
Yes, Baliama will go over and do the South Shore, I guess, or not. Meanwhile, Glan is going directly into Ganon's tower with his moon pearl. He just did some dash buffering into that slope on a pretty definitive height, and he is then able to just slip up here and do stuff.
Oh, well, for those of us trying to play the Ganon's Tower key game, if you guessed 1, you would have been a winner.
But we don't play the Ganon's Tower key game in Overworld just because we can get the Ganon's Tower big key at any point in the seed, so no real reason to do that.
Now, since Glan found the big key, could he actually go up to Ganon and attempt to defeat Ganon at this point?
He would not come that far going up the tower because, well, there are some red statues that won't evolve for you to pass it. And even if you would be able to get up the entire tower till Ganon 2 and be able to beat him, you still need all 7 crystals to beat Ganon before you can finish the siege.
Baliame warping into the Dark World, and we have a map check. So we have
Ice Palace green, Swamp Palace blue, and Skull Rocks or second red crystal.
Glan picking up bombs while continuing to go through Ganon's tower.
While you pretty much see Glan doesn't have the hook shot for this part. While we are allowed to do everything that enemy does, but everything is in logic, like bomb jumps are not in logic for Overworld glitches.
This is so cool, just seeing this get destroyed firsthand.
Just watch someone play No Logic, then you think, what the fuck is this game? Is there anything we can do?
Yeah, I think seeing this first before watching a No Logic showcase is oh, there's now we know where all four swords are. Glan has his tempered sword, and when he goes to Sashrala and checks his backroom closet, he'll get the butter sword.
Yeah. One thing I should note here is, all the bomb jumps that say that, let's give the hook shot requirement. That means we will not find the hook shot right here. We could find the hook shot in the upcoming chests because of everything's placement, but that would mean the hook shot will not lock the red cane. So that's also a nice way to find out logic.
Oh, Glan missed his bomb.
How did that bomb floor not get exploded?
All four swords have not been found, but we know where they are. Datamancer in the chat.
Glan, please drink your potion. Please drink the blue potion.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Looks like, no, he's gonna, fire rod away the first armor strike. Oh, I forget how...
Using the slashes here, that's really good because those slashes do fighter sword damage. Fighter sword damage on armors is quite good.
Oh, I'd rather have a bow, to be perfectly honest with you, because, oh boy, this fight is awful without it.
Just take the Cane of Burn with the full magic password. Just activate it, dash into them, and all of them go together at the top of the screen, getting damaged quite quickly.
Now,
someone in chat just asked, doesn't Master do less damage on Ice Armor? And yes, Ice Armor gets less damage on Armor gets less damage from a Master Sword than from the Fighter Sword or the Temper Sword, because they didn't want you to spin stuff like you do usually.
Now I'm gonna be, oh no, Baliame can't bounce off the, I think he's resetting the screen here. So, I think he mistakenly picked up the second skull on the ground. Now it looks like Baliame should end up in that Ice Armos fight pretty soon here.
Waiting till that anti-parry is out of the way, so he can actually get into this into the bomb hole without dying.
Chest game profit.
Well, yeah, we're directly going for beam slashes. Those again do fighter sword damage on ice armor, and fighter sword damage on ice armor is big.
Oh, Glan found a mirror in Thieves Town. Looks like he's gonna head into the Thieves Town dungeon at this point.
No, it's crucial because Hammer. There is no reason to not here at this point.
And now Baliame is gonna get the. I guess it's not entirely bad news, but getting the second shield upgrade and little else for his troubles with Ice Armos.
Can I quickly point out how similar the routes of the two players were the entire seed? You usually see a lot more divergence when you have the possibility to do anything you want. So this is quite impressive for who's to actually choose the same route.
Oh, Baliame's a little bit further behind at this point, though. But yeah, he's gonna equip the hammer and now with the fire rod, would you consider going into Skull Woods? And it looks like that's where Baliame is going, as Glan opted to go into Thieves Town.
I think Skull Woods at this point is a really good choice. Allows you to check the check the most, get the red pendant and red crystal, and Glenn finds out, the mirror that you wanted, yes, here in this room you find the information for it.
I guess not so much logic in the way the hints are distributed, as it gave him one he did not need.
There's actually no logic behind the hint placement. The hint could be, it is completely hammer locked, could point you to the hammer. There is no logic for that.
And Baliame's making his way through Skull Woods at this point, as Glan is going through Thieves Town, and I think it might be safe to say that once Glan is finished with Thieves Town, he may end up in Skull Woods, and I think Baliame is going to switch places with Glan and head down into Thieves Town.
Well, that is certainly a possibility. I personally would like to see Baliame go north, go to the north road and go up to Catfish, because that will definitely be a way, be a location that's out of the way usually. Oh, he doesn't have the mirror, so he can't do all the checks on the way. So yeah, he will probably go to Thieves Town after this. Blind asking us about the blind run of this game. I don't think we saw the spoiler for this, so everything's fine.
And Blind, as scripted as ever, as Glan takes down Blind, and looks like we have our second crystal for Glan, as Desert Palace was finished earlier by both runners.
And Banyama will, in just a few moments, have the second red crystal, which will, of course, unlock the Pyramid Fairy. But we don't need it. We can easily get it without it by just having the mirror, so I hope that's not the thinking behind this.
Well, you'd still need to get the crystal no matter what, I would think, so
You sure need the crystal, but the red crystals don't unlock that much in Overworld glitches.
And Baliame tying up the score, as it were, with having both of our restreamed runners at 2 crystals each. But Glenn is already working on Skull Woods, and Baliame on his way out.
Yeah, he's still searching for that second item, and he finds it here in the chest, in the back. Baliame did use his ferry, so he will not find himself getting a ferry after a death roll.
Yeah, that was a rather intentional death there for Baliame, as he's going to work his way out of Skullwoods now.
So I guess they just had a high five moment.
Baliame should get the mirror when he goes through Thieves Town.
Yes, especially when he remembers to shake the bone hut. Might be forgettable sometimes, so I don't know. I definitely never did this on my own. I don't know what you're talking about.
And here goes Baliame into Thieves Town, so he should be able to pick up at least the mirror, as Glenn has already found his way to Mothula.
Yeah, I think he started by doing Mothula and is, for the most part, trying to do this dungeon backwards.
And Baliame is going to unlock Thieves Town, but it looks like he's going to play the chest game and net himself a heart and 300 rupees. Glenn picked up 100 rupees and 300 rupees being the prize. And there's the mirror for Baliame.
Finding that mirror early in the Darkwood is an energy definitely nice, in Overwatch is kinda not that great, because like most of the stuff that the mirror unlocks is Storm Palace, so not that much.
All right. Yeah, chat pointing out that I'm going scatterbrained again, and it is the village of Outcasts, and the dungeon is the Thieves Town.
It's definitely an easy mistake to make. We got to be in the Hype Cave. I don't think we should call this Hype Cave.
That did not look very impressive. About the most exciting thing I saw out of there was a bottle.
I take a few bumps over that bottle at this point. Especially since version 30 removed all the bomb upgrades in the normal item pool.
It looks like Glenn is going to drain the swamp and potentially head into Swamp Palace at this point as well.
He can't, because even if you would do a fake river setup inside of the Swamp Palace, that fake river setup wouldn't get him a single chest. He then still needs to go to Sashurala to get his flippers if he wants to do Swamp Palace. which I don't think he wants to do.
And Glan is in the mini Moldorm cave. Let's see what we have here. 20 rupees. 20 rupees. 20 rupees. Oh, we broke the streak with a piece of heart. And 10 arrows.
At least the piece of heart was the red. The arrow, that's unacceptable.
But, oh, that was another very unspectacular group of items there. Hype Cave not delivering the hype. Neither was Mini Moldorm.
But there's of course still the Ice Rock Cave. Unfortunately, not checking that together with the Dark World, which, to be honest, in Overworld Glitches isn't even that bad. You can just check this in the Dark World and then be able to check the Death Cave here with this one little hint tile.
I guess Glan wasn't interested in continuing that trek around to Eastern Palace, or is he gonna glitch to Eastern Palace now? Well, he's in Power of Hera.
But Glan doesn't have the bow, so going into Eastern Palace isn't the most attractive at this point. But he can go into Turtle Rock with all the equipment he has. He can't do that much in there, but still, Darkness Mod is also a thing. So there's a lot of chests he can do. But I'm setting up the best lines. If you are wondering what that visual glitch is on Balyam's screen, if you press select while the maiden is still catching up to you, and during the catching up, you still have the select menu open, the screen gets a bit glitched out, you get a few wrong colors, everything looks normal, weird.
Oh, it didn't seem to affect the fight very much. Balyami making fairly short work of blind, and picks up the Thieves Town crystal.
Meanwhile, in the Hookshot Cave, Glan picked up the Cane of Somaria.
Oh, there's our bow.
And Caesar, so at least 2 of those we don't need.
So now it's now with having the bow now, do you think Glan's headed over to Palace of Darkness?
If I will say that he will check now Catfish, and from there we'll do a clip down to Palace of Darkness, and from Palace of Darkness check the Eastern Palace area. Or he apparently sets up the mirror here on the quick warp pixel and will be able to check the Zoa. Meanwhile, Balyam collected a completely useless dude in the dating game.
Oh, it's never useless to listen to the Hylian national anthem. Glan is unfortunately going to get suckered as bad as Balyame did in the Zora investment program here.
Okay, Isa for Missouri Maya. That is definitely needed. We can't glitch our way into Maya with overworld glitches. With major glitches we can, but that's another thing.
Another pair of unspectacular chests in the Misery Mire here. It looks like Balyame is going to try to glitch himself.
Yeah, Balyame is now leaving here and might be looking into checking the rest of the South Dark World. Maybe he will decide to go into Swamp Palace because he didn't find that much the last 3.5 hours or so.
Okay, I was wondering why Glan was headed down here. Is that just to clip it? Yeah, okay, that's exactly why.
Yep.
So now he's
something similar for Eastern Palace from the light work screen, but if you can do it for Palace of Darkness, then why should you go around?
Well, can he just go out and use the mirror?
But once he uses the mirror, he is directly in Eastern Palace. So yeah, why should he go around for Eastern Palace?
Okay, so we are going to see some use out of the mirror, at least in in this run. Okay.
And Palyama, who has the flute, just ran past possible activation for that. So that's showing how much he wants to activate the flute.
Well, he's in the Dark World at this point, unless you're able to... Oh, here we go. Alright, it looks like I am going to stand at attention while we play the Hylian National Anthem.
Yep, get your 7s into the chat.
And for Baliame, at least, we have the foul on the prowl. Although I don't know if we're ever going to actually use that flute.
We could use the flute to refill on potions, I guess.
Now, are there any kind of glitches that they could set up that would actually use the flute in the overworld glitches?
There are no overworld glitches that you use the flute, that make use of the flute in the overworld. But there are some minor glitches that take use of the flute, but like the spooky action that you often hear in Maya that no one wants to actually do.
Now, Baliame looked like he glitched, but then couldn't move to where he wanted to go. Did he miss a glitch? Was he trying something and not able to pull it off?
I think what he tried to do there was use a YBA to be able to get the frog out of his misery, but I'm not aware. I'm not so aware of the specifics of that, so I don't know. Kuya chat saying he drank the potion instead of using it to YBA, which is quite easy to do. A personal setup that I do for if I want to do a YBA dash turn into the transition, so you don't have some leniency while turning.
Oh, and there we go. We see Baliame flute, and it looks like he's going to refill a bottle. 2 bottles. At this point, having paid off Zora, he's got plenty of money to play around with.
A beautiful Hamayam from Grand, so it was nice to watch that. Now having to go through the Dark Maze backwards. I think that, okay, many people may already struggle with this maze in the normal direction. If you try to do this one backwards, that's a pain. It's not really funny to do this one.
Well, Glenn found the chest that he was looking for, but only 3 bombs inside of it. Glenn opting to use the mirror to keep going through the rest of the dungeon.
Yeah. He probably just wanted to have the chest and keep the key, but I think it would have probably been better to just use the key and go through the front door instead of trying to do something fancy.
Now, do keys carry over from dungeon to dungeon, or is he kind of just going to have an extra key or two at this point when he finishes off?
The keys don't carry over outside of retro mode. In retro mode, the keys are only one pack. Like you will only have keys in one certain area, and you see Bayama doing a trick to catch the now doing his right way to get the frog. So nice.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there are definitely quite a few interesting glitches that, if you know them, might be able to give you an edge in the sea, and this time it goes 50 rupees.
Yeah, Crazy Sunshine, I'm almost kind of asking myself that exact same thing.
To shortly explain the thing, as far as I know, he did rank the potion on the same frame as he hit the transition. The transition was interrupted and the screen was completely messed up, which allowed him to pick up the frog without big problems. Meanwhile, Baliama right now is going ahead and go check the pyramid ferry, because she can. Baliama, you don't need to reset your camera, you got the flute. Chat is currently discussing an Ega seed. It would take quite a lot to do an Ega 1 seed in Overworld glitches. You would have to be locked out of pretty much everything.
Well, we have Glan bonking Helmasaur here, trying to break his mask. I saw the full piece of heart. I did not see what the first chest was on Baliame's side in the Pyramid Ferry.
I think it was a red rupee. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, I saw it on the restream. And seriously, Baliama, why pick up that one?
Because one arrow is better than 0 arrows.
But he's at 30.
Oh, could he have mistaken that arrow for the silver arrows, perhaps?
Maybe he just wanted to mean. Possible. The thing that Bayama will now find is too much was if he does the entire escape sequence. So he will also be but he should be at Goldsword after this, while Glenn, once he is done with Eastern players can just mirror for just go to Sarshwala and pick up his golden sword at the flippers.
Yeah, Baliame would have to go to the uncle, though, to get one of the swords.
I hope he, after this, mirrors out and goes to shake that one, so I assume he will find it.
But this should be, that's a burrito, and then, this next chest he'll open in the dungeon will be, the tempered sword for Baliame. Glan is working his way through. He's still in Palace of Darkness, correct? Baliame He can't jump down. Oh, there he goes. There's his access down to the uncle.
Glenn is in Eastern Palace right now. Pit of Darkness already cleared.
And Baliame has our level 4 sword.
Yes, he is the first to pick up the level 4 gold sword. But yeah, Glenn will soon will be able to get this. Some cash in Pit of Darkness. Thanks. Thanks.
Oh, it's important to know, you know, some of us could actually be going through the game the normal way and need to pay off Zora.
We already did that.
Oh, I know the runners did, but,
To answer the question on the chat, the bone was in Super Bunny Cave on the Death Mountain, which Waliame didn't do Darkest Mountain yet, so he will probably get it sometime soon-ish.
well, he's going back into the Dark World. Is that what he's gonna end up doing at this point? Is going north?
I personally would have liked him to go the North Road. Would have been nice to see.
Looks like he's going for the lunchbox.
Yes. With the fruit you will be able to get that quite quickly. Or... I have no idea. Oh, he doesn't have the mid, so he needs to do this little thing here. He goes directly on the picks with the womp, he goes directly next to the transition. Then he presses the mirror and moving left at the same frame. We'll be able to do a weird transition, and once he goes back to the transition, it's half the screen over to over, being able to then pick up the lunchbox. There's actually another setup for the same, which would have allowed him to do this a bit faster if I am correct, but at the same time, that setup is really hard to do because you would need to do a trick first right, or otherwise you'd soft lock and need to save and quit out.
So now he's doing the hammer pegs.
Yes, and the hammer pegs are a bit off-screen. You see them to the left and to the right if he moves far enough over. And now the entrance is somewhere in the trees. You need to find it somehow, so it can be funny to find that one.
Ooh. And he'll need that to get the screen transition to fix everything so he can go and get the lunchbox?
The screen will not be fixed by that. To fix the screen, he would have to mirror and go into the Batcave. Batcave would fix that everything.
Well, looks like Baliame was having a little trouble finding, found the blue boomerang and didn't seem too impressed by it.
Well, I think for the Hintites it's called the good boomerang, so according to them that's the best boomerang. Yes, I disagree. I like the red one. Has nice range. Well, yeah, you can just mirror and then go into the Batcave. Please remember that.
Looks like Baliame is a little more interested in Death Mountain at this point.
So, interestingly, Glenn will now be able to start up with Remire because he has pretty much all three medallions. But Yama still needs to find his Ether medallion, which he will do shortly.
Well, I was gonna say, Gland's headed into Misery Mire at this point. Baliame is activating a glitch to head toward Turtle Rock.
The glitch that Bayama just did it's called Turtle Claim. It's usually used to get to Turtle Rock, but you can of course just use it to get to the East Dark World, this mountain.
Looks like Baliame is going to be going through Hookshot Cave, and we have the Red Cane.
Oh, and the mirror sheet. I missed the mirror sheet and then checked it, so it's nice to know. Not really new to it, but nice to know. And Bayam will now pick up 2 more items that he really needs to complete the scene.
Yeah, Baliame is going to find his bow in this next chest, and there it is. Also completing his medallion collection.
I think Bayam will now do a trick called Mirror Wrap. He will be able to get into Turtle Rock by just using the mirror at the same way he did for the hammer picks. He corrects with his position by pressing up and or down. Press once left, get pushed over the transition, and is in the back entrance of Laser Bridge. If you play the inverted mode, you may think, hey, the entrance is open, and if you go through the back. Not outside of inverted. You still need to bomb yourself out of that. He finds the worst man. He's a coward, definitely.
Yeah, there's no option to unequip it, but yeah, Baliame does find the red mail in the laser bridge.
Meanwhile, Glance is searching for the big key of Misery Mire. But yeah, right now, does a nice little thing for this little cave here. You wouldn't expect how easy it is to get through this cave, through the dark maze in Turtle Rock backwards. But it's just pulled up. It's literally that easy.
Well, now I know how to do it the backward way. I guess it wouldn't quite work if I just held down instead of holding up when I do it the front side way.
Well, for the normal way, you need to get to the switch first. It does work in inverted though, so if you plan to do a lot of inverted, knowing that might be helpful in a lot of your seeds. What was that on the entire right there? I didn't catch it in time.
The only part I caught was a unique item.
I tried to catch it on the restream. A unique item requires a hammer that could be something like the hammer picks, which was the bow, which was
the blue boomerang. Yeah. Baliame living on the edge here on half a heart. I know he refilled some of his bottles, but is he keeping those bottles for glitches?
Well, if you think two of the pots here have hearts, oh, only one, okay. Still better than one. He doesn't have either powder or the mushroom, so he can't use fake powder, unfortunately.
Oh, gets rejected by the Chain Chomp. It looks like Baliame is just going to...
He wanted to reset the room a bit, but unfortunately it's the same super tile, so no.
Oh, no.
Oh. No. It's the same super tile. He would have got to go one more screen down source to reset the room.
It looks like Baliame is off to parts unknown. Is headed into the Dark World as Glan is taking on Vitreous.
He needs to look at his health right now because he started out doing the energy strat, but you need some health to do the energy strat because of damage boost. But now he's at half a heart, and that was close.
Well, Glan finishes off Vitreous, finds 20 rupees for his troubles. But there's the prize he was seeking, that crystal. I believe that puts him on...
7.
Oh, that is all 7 now.
6. He still needs the iPhone for Turtle. Yeah. Our tracker was faster than I. Oh, we just got the question, what is faster? Open or no, the glitch nodes we are here? And the actual answer for this is it's quite pretty the same. In the glitch modes you have pretty much everything available, which means you will shake a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff will not be worth it. While in open mode you at least get some directions. So that's the big difference between the two modes.
Yeah, I was going to say it really looks like it's kind of a half dozen one the other sort of thing, because you can glitch to so many spots, you almost seem to waste your time by using the glitches and finding nothing by utilizing those glitches. And by finding nothing, I mean rupee drops, non-progression items.
Yeah, if you would use over glitches and stuff to speed up an energy seed, that of course would be get much faster, but that's not usually done. You don't see often an energy seed played with over glitch reset.
And there's our silver arrows for Glan.
And the most important item is the bug net. And then goes back for the tile room. If that was his plan all along, I think he should have done it on the first trip there. Would have speed up it a bit, in my opinion.
Now, aside from getting our crystals, are there any other items that the runners need to be able to finish the game at this point?
Well, we still need the ice rod on the land side, because without that ice rod we will not be able to beat Trinex, which is needed for the last crystal. But for everything else we got, so it's just plain old ice rod hunt. Just add Ganon Sour to the mix. And chat is doing what chat is doing best, saying the ice rod isn't swamp. I personally would like pedestal ice rod, wouldn't you?
Wait, did I hear pedestal seed? Absolutely.
And chat tops it off with saying Pedro is still having a fetch quest to the ice rod.
See, I'm not that cruel. I just want a pedestal seed. I know our fetch quests need more fetch quests, but come on, guys, that's a little too much, don't you think?
I would also be happy with a green pendant, a mushroom, to book on the how is it called, the witch, and then be able to get the ice rod from either tablet.
We can't check the tablets either. Yeah, no book. Okay. Oh, that's gonna be a bit of a drawback here, as Glan looks to be advancing through Ganon's tower and in the Lanmolas 2 fight.
Yeah. So Glenn is right now in the last part of the game. He will be able to defeat Hera 2 and everything will be fine. He just can't beat Ganon at this point because Randomizer adds a check to the Ganon, and in the fourth round he will not be beatable unless he got all his 7 crystals and Hera 2 defeated.
Well, he'll get part of it with the Ognum 2 aspect, correct? He'll just need to finish off the other side of things by finishing Turtle Rock, which means he'll need the Ice Rod.
You know, I thought that the Ice Rod hint was definitely at Dark World Ice Rod Cave, just because no one wants to check it. To answer the question in chat, no. Once you got all 7 crystals, you can just drop into the hole that you opened up by beating Hera 2, so you will be fine after that.
Oh, half magic found by Glan.
Yes, and half magic is nice and will allow him to have a bit more leniency while fighting Trinix. And a key in the pre-Moldorm chest, not especially the thing that you wanted, and the Moldorm file definitely far away from what you wanted.
Yeah, Glan unfortunately falling on Moldorm 2. Now, it'd be interesting to see if... now, I guess it couldn't actually be here, but if something is on the Moldorm chest here... just another piece of heart.
Well, yeah, it could have been the ice rod in the Moldorm 2 chest. It's totally fine, logic-wise. I would think that's fine. The entire Ganon's tower is in logic, but getting into the Ganon's tower is completely in logic. And once you've got items to clear it, then you can actually expect to find all the items in here.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I have to almost unlearn all of my no major glitches knowledge and replace it with overworld glitches knowledge as I'm going here. And it looks like Glan's landed 5 of the 6 hits required to take down Ognum. Oh, he misses the whole thing there.
Yeah, the Ognum 2 patterns are not the nicest today, so he had a few misses there. But Yama will have to get through the same patterns, so there's no advantage by having a better pattern.
Well, I mean, if you can save the couple seconds on, you know, doing it in 3 patterns as opposed to 4, or you know, 2 as opposed to 3, but Baliame is going to finish off Helmasaur here, as Glan wisely foregoes picking up the single arrow drop. I'm not entirely sure where Glan is off to, going for a swim.
Glan is right now heading towards the hammer packs. That is totally illogical the way he's doing it.
Okay, so Glan's going to be rewarded with the knowledge of where the Bloomerang is, and we'll see if he bothers to get it or not. Nope.
Well, he followed the hint he got, saying there's a unique item behind Selma. He found the unique item.
I think he was hoping for a different unique item.
That unique item was also blue, so he's fine, I think.
Now, is there a point at which you start considering, okay, the ice rod is the pedestal item, I need to just finish off Ice Palace and Swamp Palace and finish off the rest of the pendant dungeons?
Well, Dan is right now looking into Top Rock. He hopes to find the ice rod in here, so he is go mode. But we already saw Badiamo check most of it. We didn't saw him check the front and up to the change room, but most of it is checked, and then goes to the coward mode. So now Glance is on his way to go through this room in the most optimal way by holding up.
Yeah, now I was going to say, we saw Baliame go through here, so we know that if Glan is looking for the ice rod, he will not find it here unless he goes to the very beginning of Turtle Rock, and that point, I believe Baliame has not gone into that section of Turtle Rock.
Yes, he had a little dog problem, and I don't think he will go back here so soon.
And a question in chat, is lamp required by logic for Turtle Rock?
And the answer to that is yes. The Overworld glitches logic does not expect you to do dark rooms. And even though you can be able to glitch past directly to the later bridge, that glitch is not in logic as it is a transition glitch. Transition glitches are not in logic.
So wouldn't that make it impossible for the ice rod to be in Turtle Rock?
Well, if the ice is the lamp is somehow locked behind the ice rod, then yeah, kinda. But the thing is, the ice rod doesn't lock that many spots, so it's not that likely to be locking the lamp. And the one location, it does require the lamp, so not a thing in this mode. in water, it might be a thing if you, because you can logically enter through the back of that rock and be able to go to Trinix that way.
I'm just trying to think if there's a way we could narrow down where the ice rod could actually be. And I'm going, okay, without the lamp, you couldn't be in Turtle Rock. So, well, since we don't have the lamp, it shouldn't be the ice rod, at least, in Turtle Rock. Or is my... Am I just overthinking things for whatever reason?
The most parts of Turtle Rock are not requiring the lamp. Just the radar bridge and the Trinix. The thing is, the ice rod is only locking the Trinix. And we don't really care about the lamp, so why should we care about it?
Fair
the only location that we currently can't in logic reach is Ice Palace. And with that, we can't get the green pendant, so those 4 items are locked out for us.
Okay. So Glan at least was able to get a little bit further than Baliame, picking up the big key in the Chain Chomp room. So this, I think, is going to be where Glan gets a little further than Baliame as well.
Yeah. Also, I think he picked up the big chest. Baliame showing us another meme. And Glan, you don't need to cage that Pokey if you go through the back. You already got 2 additional keys.
Ooh, this is interesting to say the least. Feel like it's like a little pop quiz though, and I'm just like failing miserably on where the ice rod could be. It looks like we're gonna a hint for bombs, not exactly what Glan is looking for, I think.
That one hint is actually quite good, because it told us that the Sage got some bombs, and the Sage is, if I remember correctly, the green pendant, Sashuala, or however you want to call him.
Yes. So now we know turning in the green pendant is just going to reward Glan with bombs, which, well, he does not want.
Yeah, well, that just means that he's even less likely to go to Ice Palace. So, yeah. Let's put the ice rod into Ice Palace. Also, lamp,
cape. And a cape. Ooh. Those are 2 pretty good items there.
Those are 2 red items that are not that useful if you really want to. The lamp helps out sometimes, but the cape, you pretty much can skip all the uses of the cape.
Actually, a question in chat. Could that also mean Agina for the hint about a sage?
No, there are actually 3 distinctive names for currently for Sashuala, Agina, and I think the Old Man as well. So, and the only one that is safe for between those is Sashuala.
And let's see, Glan is now in the Spike Cave as Baliame's continuing to well, functionally catch back up, going through the dungeon here. Glan finding a piece of heart and speed boosting his way out of the Spike Cave. Be interesting to see where he heads off to next.
I can also say I have no idea at this point. There aren't that many locations that you can still get to. I guess, of course, Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb, that's a good decision.
Well, let's see what we have here then. I mean, of course, I'm obviously rooting for a pedestal ice rod, but I believe that is the 4th known bottle, as I don't believe Baliame's picked up that particular bottle.
And Shad is asking for Tyroom. Tyroom was checked. So, unfortunately, no Tyroom I shot.
And we have ourselves a Redarang found by Glan.
If we would have had the Red Boomerang, we could have potentially glitched out the grave for King's 2. The grave didn't want it to be glitched out, so it took the Red Boomerang hostage. And Glenn right now is doing some really crazy shit that I have no idea how to describe. I know where he will end. I don't want to do it ever. Like, he just placed the portal like Banyama did earlier, directly at the spot of the Pyramid Ferry, and can now glitch himself directly back in. And so he's now in Pyramid Ferry. So I hope you enjoyed it. I have still no idea how to do it. So then, where are you going now? Looks like back of escape. Good decision. Might be able to finish it up with the sewer chest. And afterwards, good. What do you think, Frico? Diving into Swamp Palace? No, looks like I'm lonely. So, Baliam right now trying to get through my dark room. I hope he has a potion because it's not really the best to die in those because the way is quite long. Also, if you're wondering why Glenn didn't just do Break of Escape after shaking the after shaking King's 2, he couldn't. If he would have gone into the Back of Escape, he would have gone into the hooligan room. Very interesting Viltrius fight by Balyama. And we found the mushroom on the hobo. Oh, it's no one checked that one yet. That one is so easy to check early on. And I think with that, Glenn has found all 4 bottles. And we see Glenn go into Ice Palace, finding out that the Misery Mire Big Key and something else was locked on the file locked in Maya. So hey, could we know that before Misery Mire? ₹20 for 45 seconds of time loss. Yay! Yes, a heart is in the Moldorm cave. There was a piece of heart in there. And also a full heart. Thanks for telling me that now. Then getting set up for the bomb jump just in the last moment. So really close call for him. Getting through that spike without taking damage. That's great. It's really hard to do that. So GG. That's really hard, not really consistent. And we found the book. Who's in for the pet check for the ice rod? Ice rod and Ice Palace. GG. Hey Freako, you back?
Yeah, sorry, I guess my cold's sort of catching up to me, and I needed to sort that all out.
Well, talking about codes, where do you think was the coldest item of them all?
Oh, so far, I'm sort of lamenting the death of my ped seed dream, but so far, I think there's actually a couple of them. I think it was the lumberjack turn-in, as Glenn is headed back into Turtle Rock.
The ice rod was in the vanilla big key chest of Ice Palace.
Yeah, I saw that right as I got back. It looks like Glenn should be on his way to Trihex at this point.
Meanwhile, Baliama has some problems with ropes and its tower. This rule looks really smooth if you can do it right. If you mess it up, it looks really horrible.
Well, Glenn getting everything in line with the Trihex fight, so this last section of Trihex, 2 hits, and that'll be it for Glenn. It looks like since he's already defeated Aghanim, he should be off to the pyramid, correct?
Yes, his next spot he will go to is the pyramid. The way he gets there, that's a different question, because we got a few ways. There aren't many good ways to. We could do something similar to Pyramid Fairy and place a mirror portal. That's not good. We could just go to the Dark World and take loot, what I think Glenn is going to do. We could also go ahead and do a Deathmon descent in the direction of Catfish and walk from there. And you now see a few pink guards. That's not normal, right? But he is right now.
What did Glenn just do? He was in the Dark World, wasn't he?
Yes, he is in the Dark World. After fake fluting, you are in what we call fake light world. In fake light world, it's a bit weird. The game thinks you're in the Dark World while actually showing light world stuff. Graphics get a bit interesting. So, yeah. And well, since the game thought he was in the game knew he was in the Dark World, after transitioning, it gave him some Dark World tiles to walk on.
And here we go for Glenn, taking on Ganon, while Baliame is looking to finish up Ganon's tower, but this is not going to lead Baliame directly into the fight with Ganon, as Baliame still has the same problem that Glenn previously had of not having the Ice Rod.
This fight doesn't go well right now for Baliame. I hope he gets it soon. That looks like... Oh no,
the real Aghanim disappeared on him. There it is. There's it. And rightfully so, a couple rage slashes by Baliame.
Let's just find it out. Dennis right now in the Ganon fight. Baliame looks to be right behind him.
Almost fell off the ledge.
Baliame still needs to finish off Turtle and find the Ice Rod for that. In Ice Palace.
And Glenn with the most important 3 steps of his gaming life here, making sure he crosses the bridge. And Glenn has finished in first place with an official SRL time, 1 hour, 38 minutes, 22 seconds. Let's get those GGs in the chat, everybody. It looks like Baliame is going to turn in the lunchbox.
Well, we know the lunchbox is some money based on hints that the land found, so I hope Baliame learns from this and checks at least the hints. It would really help.
Well, we know right now that Baliame needs to head into Ice Palace to get the Ice Rod. Unfortunately, there's nothing that's telling Baliame directly to do exactly that.
Yeah, I would take the guess that he rather goes into a Swamp Palace at this point, because Swamp Palace has 6 items and it's just a tad faster if it's a good Swamp Palace.
Well, it looks like Glenn might be joining us in the Discord in a short while, but right now it looks like Baliame doing a couple more checks that Glenn did earlier in the game.
Yeah, 140 really Moldorm. Glenn joined us into the interview, so GG Glenn.
Thanks.
So how about that ice rod?
Yeah, that took a little bit of hunting down. But at least most of it was just in crystal dungeons and like Gan's Tower, so it's not a huge deal.
It killed my dream. I was kind of going, all right, what's going to be that item that ends up on the pedestal that just kind of, makes everybody, like, rage?
Yeah, I was getting a little worried about that. Because, like, I knew that Sahazwell just had bombs, so, like, I wasn't... When I was going to Ice Palace, I think, like, is it worth killing Cold Stare? But I guess I would have, just in case it's pedestal. Because, like, the only other thing I had after Ice Palace would be Swamp. So...
Well, that kind of surprised me that you went into Ice Palace, because doesn't Swamp Palace have a higher item density to it?
It does have more items, but I figured I was thinking about the hints in Ice Palace, because like it's maybe some more chances and it could tell me kind of exactly where it is, but
and then surprise, found it.
Yeah.
Well, talking about the hints, how did you feel about the hints? They told quite a lot of things in the seed.
Yeah, they were actually pretty useful in this seed, like Sahazula being bombs. Well, there was the one that was the unique item required hammer, but then after seeing the boomerang, I was like, I can't really, like, that could just be the boomerang in Peg Cave, so I can't really go buy it anymore.
Yeah, there were a couple hints that seemed to be telling you what you had already known, but
oh yeah, like some caches in Eastern Palace.
Yeah.
How about that mirror placement?
Yeah, I wish I had gotten that a little sooner, but I guess it worked out. And then, yeah, the redundant hint for the mirror. Kind of a slap in the face.
Baliame back into the escape sequence, breaking down the wall to pick up those 3 chests, and the bad news of, unfortunately, no ice rod.
Yeah, Baliame unfortunately didn't check any of the hint types of seed. The other useful information you did, he got by checking the actual places.
And yeah, as we saw, my broken heart was on the pedestal.
So this was one of those seeds with mitts in the dark, I guess. Because I didn't even realize that I had them.
I definitely didn't even saw it till someone pointed it out in chat, so I had no idea.
The funny thing is, I didn't even realize until going in the back of Escape. I just noticed like the yellow gloves on Link.
Wait, you noticed the gloves on Link?
Yeah, he has the glove colors that change.
Okay, I actually never noticed the glove color actually changing.
But it's funny because like before that I lifted the rock in front of King's Tomb without even thinking about it. And I just somehow didn't even think that I needed mitts to do that.
Well, to be fair, we got glitches to pick up that rock without mitts, so that's fine.
It's kind of a good thing I realized, because I was kind of thinking I might not do Ice Palace, because it requires mitts by logic.
Yeah, and I think Baliame also still hasn't figured that one out, that he has the mitts. because I think he's also still searching for something.
Yeah,
Baliame
just checked the hobo under the bridge, found the mushroom, and I was actually surprised you didn't turn the mushroom into the witch hut.
Yeah, that would have been like my first move after ice. It's just a little bit of a detour because I hadn't activated the flute yet.
Oh, okay. Well, Baliame did activate the flute, and Baliame actually did turn in the mushroom, and we see 20 rupees would have been your prize for turning in the mushroom.
Yeah.
And I think Baliame is at the same juncture where you were at, I should say, in trying to figure out, okay, am I going to go into Ice Palace or am I going to go into Swamp Palace? And it looks like Baliame is choosing wisely and headed into Ice Palace himself, or themselves at this point.
But still keeping on, not checking the hint height, so... But you at least had the hint heights to make it a bit into Ice Palace favor. Baliame is just going here for 3 items and the green pendant.
Oh, he didn't see the hint for bombs.
No, he didn't check any hint heights, and that one was actually in the front of Turtle Rock, I think, right?
Yeah, that was the front of Turtle Rock.
He didn't even reach that one. He died in the changing room, unfortunately.
I did too, but I went back.
Yeah, you got the big key and then died to the chain chomps, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That's got to count for something. You at least got the chest out of there for taking the death.
But there were still items unaccounted for, so I had to go back.
Well, looks like Baliame is continuing through the Ice Palace here. And still not checking any of the hint tiles, but Baliame will be present later on, and hopefully we'll be able to ask if that was a strategic decision or if Baliame simply didn't know that the hint tiles were activated now.
What?
I actually forgot myself until I remembered just going for the bomb jump in Hera. I remembered, like, oh, there's hints, I should be checking those. So I had to go back in to get the lobby one, but...
Yeah, will definitely be a bit of interesting till we are all used to the hint types being there. We will always miss one or two while walking past them.
I actually wasn't thinking about it in the race, but I guess another reason to do ice before swamp is that some of the hints hint about swamp palace locations. And so you might get a hint in ice that hints towards swamp, making the clear faster or something.
Interesting.
It's definitely a good idea thinking about it. There can definitely be a hint about the left side of swamp telling you, hey, the left side of swamp is map and compass. Thanks.
Yeah. And the big chest has a hint too.
And Baliame just picked up the book, which means we're not too far away from picking up the ice rod.
Can he clear it out and check the pedestal, please?
The pedestal was Broken Heart. So a heart.
But we need a confirmation. Not that the end sequence is broken.
And Baliame is going to find the ice rod. And that's an immediate mirror. Save and quit and back to Turtle Rock. So Baliame is following in Glan's footsteps, although a little bit behind.
Yeah, and while we were talking about Baliame finding his ice rod, Pink Kitty Rose also finished her race with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes and 47 seconds. GG.
Yeah, well done, Pink Kitty Rose. Getting through this is proving to be rather interesting. And it looks like Baliame is going to take the traditional route into... getting denied by a dead rock.
Dead rocks are the worst. At least for the actual church rock entrance, you don't really need to go there. Also, Baliame needs to go this way because he still has not found the big key in church rock. So good on him for remembering that he didn't find the big key. I totally wouldn't have gone through the back and wondering, oh, hey, I don't have the big key.
Yeah, Baliame is going to trigger Ether, which will open up the regular entrance into Turtle Rock, and thus begins the trek through Turtle Rock for Baliame to finally get the 7th crystal. Now, Glan, if you're still here, I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Was there anything that stood out to you in this particular seed that just, you want to mention?
Nothing really in particular. I think the seed wasn't really... It was a fairly straightforward seed. The ice rod was a bit tucked away, but otherwise, most things were kind of on your path.
Okay.
So.
I'm just kind of curious because, this is actually the first time I've seen glitches. So this is all kind of, watching it for the first time and I'm going, what just happened here? Yeah. Michael, help. I don't get it. Error. It does not compute. But it looks like Baliame is going to go back to the laser bridge entrance to Turtle Rock, having secured the big key from the Chain Chomp room.
Yeah, then he will press the way to the presentation at the same time as he uses the mirror, and collision-wise he is directly in front of the laser bridge entrance.
Well, Glenn, at this point, I guess I would say GG to you and your first place finish.
Thank you.
And we have Chexhuman finishing in 3rd place with a official SRL time of 1 hour, 51 minutes, 40 seconds. And I don't know if you want to stick around for Baliame to finish and...
I guess I'll just head out now.
All right, well,
see what I need to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done, Glenn. Again.
GG. See ya.
Have a good rest of the day.
So, and now Baliame finishes up. Trinex will now only have to go back to the pyramid and meet Ganon. Let's see how he will go over to the pyramid. Landed a fake flute to get over there. Baliame might opt to a different way, based on his decisions. lowering to 5 and going there into the dark void. Good way into the dark void. Kinda close to the pyramid, so really nice to start here.
I was gonna say, it looks like Baliame is just gonna take the straight route and just kind of hoof it over to the pyramid.
No, there are, even though we can do a lot in Overworld glitches, there are a few words that need some more work to break down.
And Baliame using the hookshot to get the dash glitch going on, and here we go with Baliame's battle with Ganon.
So Gold Sword, Silver Arrows, this fight should not be any problem for Baliame. So I think he will be able to get through quite quickly.
I think he's already through phase 2 at this point, as Ganon's moved on to phase 3.
Yeah, Baliame even threw a few additional slashes onto him, showing that he is ready to finally finish the seed.
Now, do the sword slashes carry over from phase to phase?
No, between every phase, the health of Ganon will be reset. So, if you do your slashes for phase 1, they will be reset before phase 2. Then they will be reset for phase 3. Well, phase 3 is even shorter than any other phase, so that's fine. And phase 4 will let you finally do all the damage onto Ganon at once.
Just so close to pulling off a triple and ending Ganon right then and there, but Baliame able to finish off Ganon on the last move. And failing to misstep on the ledge there, Baliame finishes in place with an official SRL time. 1 hour, 57 minutes, 16 seconds.
Yeah, we said he's sadly the last place, but it's still quite fine time. Being able to subdue any Overworld glitches seed might be a hard time for anyone that's not experienced, and Baliame showed off a lot of his knowledge about glitches in this game, so GG's to him.
Yeah, hopefully we have time to get Baliame in here. Looks like Baliame's in the Discord, and there's the ping.
And she is.
Hey.
Hello.
GG.
Thank you. Well, that was one fun seed.
Yes, it was definitely an interesting seed. But before we talk about the seed, one thing I wanted to point out is you didn't check any of the hint tiles, and the hint tiles the seed told us quite a lot. Like they told us that the publishers wasn't required.
I mean, like, I knew that the Smith and that area is going to be something that people won't even touch, because when does myths really come to play if it's not early on, right? So I'm like, all right, well, it's a good way to show a YBA and at the same time get some items out of it, maybe, hopefully.
Yeah, the Smith thing, that was really impressive. I personally have never seen it, and therefore have never done it myself, so I might actually try that one out later on.
I did, however, miss like 2 YBAs there, and that was incredibly painful.
Yeah, you directly afterwards were able to buy some potions from the Wish and retry it, so that was at least a nice way to retry it.
Yeah, well, it's still like kind of time costly, isn't it? So, yeah. But the flute did come in handy at that point, because it's like, all right, well, might as well go buy a potion there.
That flute pickup shortly before had actually a use. You don't often see a use by the flute in Overworld glitches outside of push refill.
I know there's a lot of people that advocate not activating it at all. I'm more on the side of, hey, why not use this to buy a blue potion, save 20 seconds at the very end of the game, which I didn't end up doing, but it's an option, right?
Yeah. But Lan actually had a blue potion after Turtle Rock and were able to use that to fake loot onto 4 and go directly to Ganon that way. You did have to find a way to get somewhere into the Dark Void around there, so you split it normally to 5.
Yeah, I did find a blue potion myself. I know I had all 4 bottles. I think I picked up the one in Turtle Rock as well, but I ended up drinking it when I was trying to fly back to Village of Outcasts to activate my flute and buy red.
That's a great routing option that you just told me. That's nice to know. Nice to know such cool ways to get around the world with blue potions and everything. And so,
I mean, it wasn't going to be a massive time save, right? But I didn't have the mitts at the time, so I would have had to do. What I ended up doing was the Mitsless Village of Outcasts, where you teleport up twice to bypass the rock.
Speaking of the mitts, where were they? Because I seem to have missed them entirely.
Oh, I have a history with that mitts location, all right? So the mitts were in the pod dark basement in one of the 2 chests. I think it was the first one, but I only checked after the second one, to be honest. And the reason I knew it all, that I had it, is because in one of my tournament races in Overworld Glitches, I had the very same situation where both me and my opponent picked up the mitts in that dark room and it doesn't show up. And both of us missed that we had it for a good 30 minutes or something.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one. You only noticed it after failing Midless King's Room, right? And picking up the rock still.
Yeah, I picked up a dark rock I was not supposed to be picking up, and I was surprised.
Well, Glenn actually picked up one of the dark rocks, but didn't notice it. The reason he noticed it was when picking up the rocks in front of the back of his cape, he noticed the color of his glass being golden. So, also a nice way to find it out.
You really have to be bitten by one of those things before you end up checking your inventory, and the first thing you look for is a brown glove icon, right?
Yes, every time I go into my menu, after finding nothing in the dark room, I check what is my sword, what is my glove, what are my medallions, anything like that. Just wanted to know. It's one of the items again.
It was a scary start of the seed, though, because I've been given that glove, which I picked up fairly late compared to the others I assume, although only Glam was on the stream. But we only also got like very early mirror, hookshot, and flippers, right? So that ice rod was 100% independent dungeon, and I'm so glad I chose Ice Palace.
Well, talking about your early game routing, Glenn was about, except for the first 5 minutes or so, on the same route as you. He was a bit ahead because his check gave him a better spot than you had, but for the most part, you were always in the same dungeon. The split came after, but when you gone to the woods and landed, go to Thieves Town. So that was the first difference for wide between the 2.
Wow. Here I was thinking, all right, there's no way someone else is crazy enough to do this, and I ended up copying Glenn or something.
Yeah. It was really nice to see you two actually doing a somewhat similar route for the most part. And you two even went to Gansawa at the same moment. Like, you were less than a minute apart at that point.
Nice. I assume he didn't fail to kill Moldorm, though.
Yes, he killed Moldorm on the... Moldorm, I think he fell once, though. So he at least didn't die compared to you.
I suppose it was one of the risks leaving that up, but reclimbing the Tower of Hera is serious time investment for what could potentially be the compass at that point, or the map. I don't know.
I think it was the key with the second item in the basement.
All right. Yeah, no way I was going back for that. That would have been the very last thing if I thought it was there.
Oh.
Yep. Well, I think the last thing would have been afterwards the pedestal.
True.
So, well, again, GG, I think we are going to finish this one now.
Yeah, I think it's about time we just wrap this up and move on. I believe on Speed Gaming 2 there is Ori going on right now.
Yes.
Aside from that, I think we only have a few things coming up later on.
Yes, there will DK Donkey Kong Country All Stages tournament on Speed Gaming 1 starting at 11 p.m. So, not 11 p.m. I'm on the wrong time zone. Sorry. But well, in less than an hour it will start, so that's shortly. So
I think once that's
that.
done, we have Portal, Undertale, the 9 o'clock daily race, which will be open mode, and looks like things start to pick up at night with another Ori random, Cuphead, Zelda 1 on both Speed Gaming 1 and 4. So it looks like 2 tournament races for that.
Yeah. So look forward to all those things on Speed Gaming. I was Michael K, joined by Frico with me on the commentary, and we had Danny and Chad for the tracking. So thanks to all of you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.